Hey y'all, new day, same sweater. We're here for part two of To Pimp a Butterfly. Not going to talk too much. Let's jump back into this. First song of part two is going to be For Sale? Question mark. Looks like it says it's an interlude, although it's a almost 5-minute interlude. I don't know what makes an interlude. I should Google that. Okay, so before we get into like lyrics and stuff, I just want to say that the instrumentals are super interesting. I don't know what to expect, what's coming up for this song, for this interlude, but all that heavy breathing, that to me sounded like a panic attack. So, and he's been talking about, being in this hotel room and in previous songs, thinking about things of his past, thinking about who he wants to be, his sins, all that kind of stuff. He's just having a really hard time in this hotel room right now. So to me, that's sounding like a panic attack. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's now see where this song goes. I have no idea where the song's going to go.
What's wrong, nigga? I thought you was keeping it gangsta. I thought this what you wanted. They say if you scared, go to church. But remember, he knows the Bible too.
Now baby, when I get you, I'ma go hit the fire with you. Smoking, looking, poking the danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. Baby, when I'm riding dirty. Registration is out of service. Smoking, looking, drinking that potion. You can see me swerving. Cause I want you. I want you more than you know. I remember you took me to a mall last week, baby. You looked me in my eyes about 4 or 5 times till I was hypnotized. Then you clarified that I want you. You said Shireen ain't got nothing on Lucy. I said, you crazy? Rose are red, violets are blue, but me and you both pushing up daisies if I. Now, baby, when I get you.
Okay. So, they say if you're scared, go to church, but remember, he knows the Bible too. So that's referring to the devil, Lucifer, who Kendrick throughout, or not, maybe not throughout, maybe in the last song or the song before that, refers to Lucifer as Lucy. And yeah, that's true. The devil does know the Bible. And that was really, I think, also exemplified in the movie Sinners. If y'all haven't seen Sinners, you need to. It's amazing. Definitely the best movie of the year for me. I don't think there's going to be a movie this year that'll top that. So here it says, through all of this, you're thinking he's talking about some girl he's with or, interested in. But here it said, you said, Shireen ain't got nothing on Lucy. So this could be Lucy saying this, Lucy's the new girl after Shireen, which was from the Good Kid, Mad City album, the girl he was seeing at the time when all that went down. So this could be Lucy, and Lucy as in the devil, as we've seen in previous songs, Lucy talking to him. And so maybe it's, Lucy that's got him right and dirty and hitting the throttle, being, hypnotizing him. So maybe all of this, drinking and driving, all of this is because it all seems like kind of like almost like a bad influence, or maybe he's doing bad things to show off for a girl, but the way it's like a double. So I think it's, it's all this is because of the devil, Lucy, is what I'm getting out of this so far. Oh, and then she said, I said, you crazy. So telling maybe the devil crazy. They're crazy. Roses are red, violets are blue, but me and you both pushing daisies. If I want you, in parentheses. So pushing daisies is to be dead. So roses are red, violets are blue, but me and you both are dead if I want you. So he's trying to refute. He doesn't really actually want the devil. Maybe, possibly. We'll have to keep listening.
Roses are red, violets are blue, but me and you both pushing up daisies if I want you. Now baby, when I get you, I'ma go hit the throttle with you. Smoking, looking, poking that danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. You said to me, you said your name was Lucy. I said, where's Ricardo? You said, oh no, not the show. Then you spit a little rap to me like this when I turned 26. I was like, oh shit. You said to me, I remember what you said too. You said, my name is Lucy Kendrick. You introduced me, Kendrick. Usually I don't do this, but I see you and me, Kendrick. Lucy give you no worries. Lucy got million stories about these rappers that I came after when they was boring. Lucy go fill your pockets. Lucy go move your mama out of Compton inside the gigantic mansion like I promised. Lucy just wants your trust and loyalty.
Okay. Yeah, so if Lucy is the devil, and he's talking about like Lucy's making all these big promises musically, so I get the idea of like selling your soul to the devil, and in the song being titled For Sale ? This is like him questioning, am I going to sell my soul in this? So the whole sell your soul to the devil thing has gotten taken, I think, in a bit too literally, especially with like Illuminati, which kind of morphed into the QAnon conspiracy theories out there of like literally making a deal with the devil and needing to make like sacrifices and stuff like that. But I think this is just like a lack of media literacy that's just been happening more and more in our culture, because it's always been metaphorical. It's been metaphorical, like to sell your soul. It's, when you get wealth and fame and that influence and power, like that can really change you. That can really test your morals, or it can test like how far you're willing to go to achieve your dream, and like at what cost, and will you even be like the same person. And it's not to this extent, like we don't all grow. We're not all the same people that we were, hopefully, like 5 years ago. But how drastically are you going to change? And is it really going to be for the best? Like, yeah, that is what I'm thinking this song is about. Like these, like the devil making all these promises. I mean, he could be speaking more literally. Like, I know he's a Christian and stuff, so he could be also taking these things a bit more literally. But I think the whole selling your soul to the devil is you just live a life of sin. You stomp on people to make it to the top. You hurt people. You become an evil sort of person. A lot of the times it like corrupts you. And so whether it's the literal handing your soul to the devil for this, or just you have to be a person who likely probably couldn't get into heaven in order to achieve certain things in the society we've built, with the reward system we've built, you're likely to become more evil, more amoral. This is, I think, and he's, we're thinking like he's in this hotel room contemplating things. This is, maybe a point of reflection of like, what kind of artist am I going to be? What are my goals? What am I willing to do to achieve those goals? And what are the lines? What are the boundaries? Because if you go into different things like, this, where you can have such a high caliber of success and so many people fall down the wrong pathways and the wrong holes. If you don't have like a clear, like if you're not regularly checking in with yourself, and if you're not regularly evaluating, you know, what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be, and do your actions match that? Yeah. So I think that this is what he's doing. He's just having this reflection of like, where are my boundaries and what am I willing to do? Am I really willing to give in, or that kind of thing? Okay. Yeah. I like this. I like this a lot.
Inside the gigantic mansion like I promised. Lucy just wants your trust and loyalty. Avoiding me, it's not so easy. I'm at these functions accordingly. Kendrick, Lucy don't slack a minute. Lucy work harder, Lucy gon' call you. Even when Lucy know you love your father, I'm Lucy. I loosely heard prayers on your first album, truly. Lucy don't mind, cause at the end of the day you'll pursue me. Lucy go get it, Lucy not timid, Lucy up front. Lucy got paperwork on top of paperwork. I want you to know that Lucy got you all your life. I watched you, and now you all grown up to sign this contract if that's possible. Get you. I'ma go hit the throttle with you. Smoking, looking, broken, the danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. Now baby, when I'm riding, yeah, I'm riding dirty. Registration inside of service. Smoking, looking, drinking, emotion. You can see me swerving. Cause I want you.
I'm just really loving these instrumentals right now in this song.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home.
Yeah, and so we just end again on this little, I don't know, spoken word sort of continue adding a new line with each track to tell a story of like a journey. So I'm excited to see where that goes as well. But yeah, the next song is called Momma.
Oh shit! I need that.
So it's
I need that sloppy. That sloppy. Like a Chevy in quicksand. Yeah. That sloppy.
This feeling is unmatched. This feeling is brought to you by adrenaline and good rap. Black penalty, ball cap.
West.
We don't share the same synonym, far back.
West.
Been in it before internet had new acts. Mimicking radio's nemesis made me whack. My innocence limited, the experience lacked. 10 of us with no tentative tactic that cracked the mind of a literate writer, but I did it in fact. You admitted it once I submitted it, wrapped in plastic. Remember scribbling, scratching, diligent sentences backwards, visiting freestyle ciphers for your reaction. Now I can live in this stadium, pack it the fastest. Gambling Benjamin benefit, sending in traffic, spinning women in cartwheels, linen fabric on fashion, winning in every decision. Kendrick gets mastered that mastered it, isn't it? Lovely how menaces turn attraction, pivoting rappers finishing fraction while writing blue magic. Thank God for rap. I would say it got me a plaque, but what's better than that? The fact it brought me back home.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
I know everything. I know know everything, know myself, I know.
Okay. I feel like this song's going to be dense already. I was having a hard time figuring out where a good place to stop would be. We don't share the same synonym, fall back. I think maybe this is like Kendrick saying, I'm a bigger thesaurus than you, and that's why I rap better. Maybe, perhaps. Mimicking radio's nemesis made me whack. Radio's nemesis. I feel like radio's nemesis now would be like streaming. I'm trying to remember how big streaming was in 2015. But I think also it could just be like, I don't know what the nemesis is, but if he's mimicking radio, then I think mimicking anybody, if you do it too closely and without any originality, is going to make you whack. I think he's saying, like, mimicking what others do, doing what others do, rapping how others rapped, made him whack. Because, he's saying, like, I am at my greatest when I am purely me, when I am flowing through my own creativity and playing around with things just the way I want to, is what I'm getting from that line. My innocence limited, the experience lacked. So his innocence is limited in the sense that he comes from Compton. He's seen some shit. He's not innocent. There's some people his age who are innocent. They've never had to really deal with any kind of real hardship and stuff. But that's furthest from Kendrick's experience. But he's also like still new and young in this like sort of hip hop rap game. So he also feels a bit inexperienced in that realm is how I'm interpreting that line. 10 of us with no tentative tactic that crack. Was there 10 of them in like TDE or one of his early groups, perhaps, as they're trying to figure their way to crack into the music industry, perhaps, is maybe what I'm thinking. And then he's just saying like, he can do all this crazy stuff with his words. I remember hearing like an interview of him where him saying he just loves to take and try to bend and twist and just see what he can do with words, which I think is really great. And he's that's where all that skill comes, because he just has that fascination. It's like savant level wordplay. I mean, he won a fucking Pulitzer, which I'm super excited to get into that album next. So yeah, I'm liking this song a lot so far. Okay, I'm gonna
I know everything, know myself, I know morality, spirituality, good and bad health, I know fatality, my haunt you, I know everything, I know Compton, I know street shit, I know shit that's conscious, I know everything, I know lawyers, advertisement and sponsors, I know wisdom, I know bad religion, I know good karma, I know everything, I know history, I know the universe works mentally, I know the perks of bullshit, is it meant for me, I know everything, I know cars, clothes, hoes, and money, I know loyalty, I know respect, I know those that's unreal, I know everything, the highs, the lows, the groupies, the junkies. I know if I'm generous at heart, I don't need recognition. The way I'm rewarded, well, that's God's decision. I know you know that line's for Compton School District. Just give it to the kids, don't gossip about how it's distributed. I know how people work. I know the price of life, I'm knowing how much it's worth. I know what I know, and
I keep thinking of things to say. This song has a lot here. Oh, he also says, like it brought him back home. Like I think doing rap and all of this and getting into the music industry and maybe seeing something he's idolized a bit more made him, and maybe seeing a lot of like fake people made him cherish and not cherish. I mean, cherish, yes, but it's not the word I'm looking for. Appreciate his home a bit more, I think. And now he's saying all this stuff that he knows. He knows street shit that's conscious. I'm guessing that's like, human shit, but, they have consciousness. It's like maybe. I like this. I know the universe works mentally. I think it kind of goes to the idea of like mantras. If you can't envision your own success in your head, it will never come to fruition. Like you have to be able to envision the future you desire. I know the perks of bullshit isn't meant for me. That can mean a lot there, depending on what he defines as perks of bullshit. But it could be just like some of the like fame stuff, because I know he likes to stay private. He's not really big on social media. That's not the priority for him. So I think that's just one of those like perks of bullshit for him, maybe, perhaps. I know if I'm generous at heart, I don't need recognition. That's so true. That's so true. I could go on a tirade about that. There's, because he talks in another line previously about like, he's talked about it a lot, actually, good karma. When you have that in your heart and you put that out there, people recognize that. And so you don't need to try to get attention. People, if you just show up into the world genuinely good, people are going to notice. And if you have a good impact on the world, on your community, on the people around you, they're going to notice that. You don't need to ask them to notice. It's that whole like, a good person doesn't really need to say like, hey, over here, I'm a good person, because their actions speak for that, is how I'm interpreting that line. And then the same, like how I'm rewarded that, well, that's God's decision. I'm not doing XYZ to get some reward out of it. Like I'm not making this music to get accolades. I'm not making this music to get like all this recognition. I'm making this music for the sake of making this music, or I'm making this music for my community, for myself, for my people, for my culture. I'm not doing it for the accolades. It's for everything else. And, and if I get accolades, then great. That's whatever. That's God's decision. God did that. Like, it's whatever. It's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm doing this. But it also ties into the idea of like that karma. Because, who would be behind karma? If karma is a sort of force, then obviously that's a force like of God. So yeah. And then I know that the lines for Compton School District. So the way we district schools and the way we fund schools is really kind of like fucked up in America. So it's based on income tax, or not income tax, property tax. And so obviously like richer, wealthier neighborhoods, because they have like higher homes and more property taxes, their schools are better funded, and poorer neighborhoods. So it's really like, it's truly based, it's like a big wealth disparity. And there are studies like all over the place that show your zip code has more impact on your likelihood of success, of maybe achieving some like tax bracket jump and generational wealth for your family, like to move up a tax bracket. Upward mobility. That's the word I'm looking for. Upward mobility. So your likelihood of achieving upward mobility is most dictated by the zip code that you were born and raised in than any other factor. That predicts someone's likelihood of upward mobility better than any other factor. And it's kind of like sad to be resigned to that. And like statistically, there are always statistical outliers, but we like to take those outliers and use them as examples of the like whole poster child narrative I talked about previously. That's common like with, disability culture. That happens a lot. And that person is the exception, and you cannot expect everybody to be the exception, because then, anyway, that's a whole side tangent. So yeah, just give it to the kids. Don't gossip about how it's distributed. And this is a problem with philanthropy and like charity and stuff, is the people who know best how to distribute the funds to help the most people are not the people who get to decide how those funds are distributed. And that leads to a lot of like, it leads to a lot of gridlocks. That leads to a lot of like bureaucratic, slow moving progress. And I mean, it's kind of by design. Like, I hate how in this country, this is why I'm a democratic socialist. And I don't mean to like lecture you on my political beliefs, but whatever, this is my channel. You can always hit like fast forward or something if you really don't want to hear it. But this is why I'm a democratic socialist. Like this is what our tax dollars should be doing. And this is why we should be taxing billionaires instead of relying on billionaires to just charitably donate their money to oftentimes nonprofits that they can use as a tax write-off, or that like they know someone who knows someone who's like on the board or whatever. There's a lot of fuckery that happens there. It's just fucking let the taxes do it and build robust. We love to like, idolize charity work and GoFundMe, feel good stories of communities coming together and donating and raising money and all this type of shit, when we wouldn't have to do that if we had the social systems in place to actually just like take care of people to start. Especially when it comes to healthcare. There's so many like nonprofits, and then like you have like all these GoFundMes for people to get medical care, when our tax dollars could literally just fund this, especially if we tax billionaires at the rate at which they should be taxed. Okay, I'll step off my soapbox now, rant over, but it's just the people, they know how that stuff needs to be distributed in their communities, and so they should be the ones in charge of distributing that. And I think this is what he's saying here, just like, don't gossip about how these funds are distributed. Like, we're just we know what's best for our community, and we know what's best for our schools. We know what these kids need.
Know how people work. I know the price of life. I'm knowing how much it's worth. I know what I know, and I know it well not to ever forget, until I realized I didn't know shit the day I came home.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
I met a little boy that resembled my features. Nappy afro, gap in his smile. Hand-me-down sneakers bounce through the crowd. Running number home, man and woman that crossed him. Sunbeaming on his BDBs, exhausted. Tossing footballs with his ashy black ankles. Breaking new laws, mama passed on home training. He looked at me and said, Kendrick, you do know my language. You just forgot because of what public schools had painted. Oh, I forgot, don't kill my vibe, that's right, you're famous. I used to watch on Channel 5, TV was taken. But never mind, you're here right now, don't you mistake it, it's just a new trip. Take a glimpse of your family ancestor, make a new list of everything you thought was progress, and that was bullshit. I know your life is full of turmoil, you're spoiled by fantasies of who you are. I feel bad for you, I can attempt to enlighten you without frightening you. If you resist, I back off quick, go catch a flight or two. But if you pick destiny over rest in peace, then be an advocate. Tell your homies especially to come back home.
We're getting a change up in the beat, but I want to talk about that. So he says all this stuff that he knows until I didn't know shit. So yeah, I mean, and this is a whole problem in like academia, these sort of ivory tower type things of to maybe understand a problem or to have like these concepts of solutions. I mean, and even mine. The realities are different, and actually achieving that is, we can live in sort of an idealistic idea of how things should go, but it rarely ever works out that way. I mean, that's like one of my whole problems with communism. Like, it sounds all nice in theory, but it never works out. And you can talk about all of the million reasons why that is, but the fact is it never works out. You always end up with some sort of authoritarian regime. in some capacity. And I'm against authoritarians, just in general. So he talks about a kid, that's reminding him of himself. He looked at me and said, Kendrick, you do know my language, so you understand where I'm coming from. Because you came from the same. You just forgot because of what public schools had painted. Oh, I forgot. Don't kill my vibe. That's right. You're famous. So you just forgot because of what public schools had painted. That could be like, my mind immediately, because Kendrick's of my generation, my mind immediately goes to like the whole No Child But Left Behind and how our education system is just in a lot of places, just a hot garbage, especially for like, K through 12. And especially when it comes to teaching history as it pertains to Black people in this country, we do a very poor job of that, especially at the K through 12 level. And that's one of the reasons why Republicans have been like all about critical race theory, which is a higher education way of talking about like investigating racial dynamics and how that, anyway, but they want to further erode the way we teach Black history already. So they latched onto that. But we really don't talk about it enough in our public schools. It's not accurate. I remember when I learned certain things, like learning about like the Tulsa race riots, the bombing. I think it was like Pennsylvania. Move bombing. Anyway, that Black neighborhood, all the things, there's so many atrocities. There's been more than one race riots, and there's been several like Black Wall Streets that have been taken down, and then like just all of, Jim Crow. There's just been so much harm done to Black communities in this country and Black people in this country. But there's so many white communities who have no idea about any of it because it's not taught. They know like there was slavery, but and then, they know that there was the Civil Rights Act and stuff like that and Martin Luther King, but it's so whitewashed that when Black people talk about reparations, when Black people talk about the predicaments that they're in today because of these like cascading effects, there's so many white communities who don't take it seriously because all they have as a reference point is a whitewashed history that they were taught. And of course, there's, just some racism in there too, but maybe I'm just being overly charitable and try to think of the good in people too much. But I feel like there's just a lot of white people who are like ignorantly racist because they don't know the context. They don't know the history because it was never taught to them. And I think there's more people that are just like ignorantly racist versus maliciously racist. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway. So that's kind of what I'm getting when he's talking about public schools. And then, oh, right, don't kill my vibe. That's right, you're famous. And so maybe this kid's also telling Kendrick, like, when you got big, you lost touch. You became out of touch with our plight, what's going on in this community. And so this is Kendrick coming back home. He's trying to not letting the fame and the wealth disconnect him from where he came from and uplifting that community is how I'm taking that. Make a new list of everything you thought was progress, and that was bullshit. And so I'm thinking of Obama here because of the timing of this album and the political undertones that this album has had so far. Like the idea of having a Black president seemed like this huge step toward progress for this country. And I think for a lot of Black people in this country, especially. And for it to just be more neoliberalism, more of the status quo, like a lot, just like pandering, really. It left a lot of people jaded. And then it ended up having a reactionary response by like a lot of right-wing conservative racist people. So, and then Obama gave them like ammunition because he wasn't like super great, which, you know, then people are going to latch onto his race as reason for that when, you know, all the white men before and after him have been just as bad or worse. It's just Obama was a establishment Democrat. And I mean, he's not like a bad establishment Democrat. I don't think he's like a evil person or anything, but he was, I think, a gigantic letdown for a lot of people because it was just, anyway.
Your homies especially to come back home.
This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I've been looking for you my whole life, and every time for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or man? Tell me something, got me losing my mind. You make me wanna jump. Let's talk about jump. Let's talk about jump. Let's talk about jump. Let's talk about. I've been looking for you my whole life, and every time for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or man? Tell me something, I'm losing my mind. I say where you at, from the front to the back. I'm looking for you, I react only when you react. I thought I found you back in the ghetto when I was 17 with the 30th best show. Maybe you in a dollar bill, maybe you're not real. Maybe only the wealthy get to know how you feel. Maybe you're paranoid, maybe I don't need you anyway. Don't lie to me, I'm suicidal when you think I can be your heaven again. I can preach for you if you tell me what.
Oops. I want to go back to that. So I've been looking for you my whole life, an appetite, and then is it in a woman? Is it in money or mankind? You know, I thought I found you in all these different instances. Maybe only the wealthy get to know how you feel. So this could be a lot of things. I'm having a lot of things come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is like happiness, maybe content, because happiness all the time is, it's not feasible. It's not. And then anyway, you can't be happy all the time, but to be content, maybe it's security, but then money you would think would get you security. I'm wondering if it's happiness or fulfillment, perhaps. Or maybe it's a sense of like safety. I don't know. Thinking happiness or safety, something like along those lines, perhaps. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go on the next song because I can preach for you if you tell me what the matter is. And then the song's called Momma. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to need a lot more time to digest this song because I feel like there's probably a few meanings here, but I think all of them are pretty deep, which I like. I do enjoy a song that I'm not immediately, and there's been a couple on this album, I think, so that I'm not immediately digesting, where I have like so many ideas running through my head, trying to make sense of them all. But I don't feel confident, extremely confident in too many of them. Yeah, I'm going to sit on this one a little bit. I'm going to probably, especially when I can re-listen to this album without pausing and talking and take it as a whole project by itself, like in one whole swoop, might make some songs, like it might recontextualize some songs for me as well, which I'm excited to do once I get through this. I am going to go back and just kind of like play it all the way through and just try to digest some of it and see if it I like to do that a lot, see if it recontextualizes songs. And yeah. I believe the next song is called Hood Politics or Hood Politic. I kind of got a brief glimpse of it when it changed over, but Hood Politics.
Okay, that. Pick up the phone, nigga. Every time my call is going to voicemail. Don't tell me they got you on some weirdo rap shit, nigga. No socks and skinny jeans and shit. Call me on Shanika's phone.
I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your own boy, you block that you from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. I don't give a fuck about no politics and rap, my nigga. My little homies done a deuce, ain't never coming back, my nigga. So you better go hard every time you jump on wax, my nigga. Fuck what they talk about, your shit is where it's at, my nigga. Came in this game, you stuck your fangs in this game. You want no chain in this game, your hood, your name in this game. Now you double up, time to bubble up the bread and huddle up. Stick it to the grits, now if them Benjamins go cuddle up. Skip, hop, drip, drop, flip, flop with the white tube sock. It go. That's what the products smell like when the chemicals mix. 50 niggas salute.
Okay, yeah, he's just going in, and that I like this. I'm liking his flow. I'm digging this. I'm not sure why he's saying boo boo here, but I like it. I don't know if it's just for like flow or if there's like if it's like some sort of slang that I'm not familiar with, especially like West Coast stuff. But I mean, I'm digging it, but I don't know if it's got a better, like a like meaning that I'm just not hearing or understanding right now. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. So talking about the people he lost, going hard like in their honor. Or it could be going hard like coming at maybe, yeah, I think it's in their honor. I don't give a fuck about no politics in rap. So he's just to the idea of like not being political is not the politics. Like I also don't, when people say like, don't be so political because, it's going to alienate people. Like, no, politics are important. They literally shape all of the systems and the structures and everything that we operate within every single day. They touch every single aspect of our lives. It's so incredibly important. And politics and how politics gets done, what gets done, how things are done, like all of that within politics. What do you prioritize for policies and things like that? All of that is a representation of one's ethics, one's values, their morals. So like, I'm never going to not talk about politics. It's incredibly important. And we can have disagreements, but at a certain point, there is a line. Like certain people you just don't associate with because their values, their morals, their ideas of how things should be fundamentally just don't align with you. And so you just like naturally are like, okay, I think you're a bad person. So I don't know. Like, I'm never going to not talk about politics because it is so fundamentally important to how our society operates and the values and reward systems of the society that we live in. So yeah, and I agree with Kendrick, like, especially if you do art, because art has so much impact on people. It can connect to people, can get people to realize things. It can humanize demographics of people that, you've never encountered before. It can give you experiences that you would have never experienced before, so it can help bridge like gaps in empathy. So art is so incredibly important for facilitating empathy, for facilitating, understanding another person's perspective or where people come from, or different emotions that you can experience and go through. But it also can give people like different perspectives in politics and educate people in politics. Art is political, and it's usually one of the first things that it's attacked under like authoritarian regimes, which we're kind of, seeing a little now. So yeah, art is incredibly important. And I think if you're an artist, you are inherently you're inherently political, or you should be, in my opinion. Because you're talking about society and life. Politics are going to be an aspect of that in some capacity, whether it's identity politics, economic politics, war politics, etc. So then he talks about, my homie, Stunna Deuce ain't never coming back. So I'm guessing that's somebody that he's lost. So you better go hard every time you jump on wax, every time you rap, every time you are recording. You got to give it your all to honor those that you've lost, especially like in rap music.
That's what the products smell like when the chemicals mix. 50 niggas salute out the Compton Zoo with the extras. Elcos, Monte Carlos, Road Kings and dressers. Rip Riders, P-Funkers, Mexicans, they fuck with you. Asians, they fuck with you. Nobody can fuck with you. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on a dead homies. On the dead homies. Hopped out the caddy, just got my dick sucked. The little homies called and said the enemies that clicked up. Oh yeah, Pook the one to squabble with me, Vadio. Oh yeah, tell them they can run it for the cardio. Oh yeah, everything is scandalous. Slow motion for the ambulance. The project filled with cameras. The LAPD gambling, scrambling. Football numbers slandering. Niggas names on paper, you snitched all summer. Streets don't fail me now. They tell me it's a new gang in town. From Compton to Congress, set tripping all around. Ain't nothing new but a fluid new Democrats and rep against red state versus a blue state. Which one you governing? They give us guns and drugs, call us thugs, making they promise to fuck with you. No condom, they fuck with you. Obama say what it do.
Obama say what it do.
Okay, yeah. So, here he's talking about, especially in like LA, there's so much racial diversity there. And, there's gangs that are racially, divided and things like that. And so, this is like I fuck with all of them kind of thing. The Mexicans, the Asians, we're all in this together, especially if you're in like the hood or somewhere in LA. So the enemy's done clicked up. Puto wanna squabble with mi barrio. So mi barrio, that's Spanish for neighborhood, my neighborhood. Another like nod to Hispanic community that is also in Compton and surrounding. LAPD's got historically a ton of problems. We could go on and on about that. There's a new gang in town from Compton to Congress, set tripping all around. Ain't nothing new, but a flu of new Demo Crips and Red Bloodicans. So the red, blue Democrats and Republicans, they're two rival gangs. So whether it's Compton and Congress, we have rivalry of red versus blue, these sort of gangs. They give us guns and drugs and then call us thugs. And that's also true, especially, we take that back to Reagan. But we've flooded Black neighborhoods with this types of stuff, and then we blame them for it. It's done on purpose, because if they can keep us divided over like racist stuff, like if you assume, you know, all of X race is like this and all of X race is like that, and we don't like them or whatever, like the more we're divided over race, over gender, over sexuality, the less we are likely to band together and fight the real enemy, the ruling class. Class solidarity.
Obama say what it do. Obama say what it do.
I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. Everybody wanna talk about who this and who that, who the realest and who whack, or who white and who black. Critics wanna mention that they missed when hip-hop was rapping. Motherfucker, if you did, then Killer Mike could be platinum. Y'all priorities fucked up, put energy in wrong shit. Hennessy and Crown Vic, my memory been gone since. Don't ask about no camera blocking at award shows. No, don't ask about my bitch, no, don't ask about my foes. Unless you asking me about power, yeah, I got a lot of it. I'm the only nigga next to Snoop that can push the button. Had the coast on standby, K Dot, what up, I heard they opened up Pandora's box. I boxed in my land by a landslide. Nah, homie, we too sensitive. It spill out to the streets. I make the call and get the coast involved. The history repeat. But I resolved inside that private heart while sitting down with Jay. He said it's funny how one verse can fuck up the game. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence.
Hang on, before he does this monologue thing, I need to look something up. Okay. That's what I thought. I just needed to look up. So, okay. Okay, so I had to look up when Control came out, because I immediately thought that when he said, you know, Jay's saying to him, it's funny how one verse could fuck up the game. I think it's a reference to the Control verse, which came out in 2014. So a year before this. But here he's saying, if you really wanted real rap shit, then Killer Mike'd be platinum. So I guess I need to listen to Killer Mike. But y'all are prioritizing, like in the rap game, the hip hop game, y'all are prioritizing the wrong shit. You're and we saw this with the beef, and I know some people get tired of me like referencing the beef, but it's my only reference of who Kendrick really has beef with. I think I already said this before, but a lot of like Drake fans and stuff, they would say Drake did better in the battle. This was before Not Like Us, but Drake did better in the battle because of his beats. But that's not what rapping is. Rapping is about the lyricism. So yeah, your priorities, if you focus on, beats, playing in the club, glorifying all the wrong shit. You're not speaking about real shit. You're not really rapping, and you're also not writing. He talks about like ghostwriters and other songs in this album too. So he's saying all the priorities of like the rap music industry or the hip hop music industry has been fucked up, but he's real. And there are other rappers out there like Killer Mike who also have those sort of qualities, real qualities of rap. Ask me about no camera blocking at award shows. Don't ask me about my bitch. No, don't ask me about my Vogues. Less you ask me about power. Yeah, I got a lot of it. So maybe this is like a reference to different interviews, like asking him stupid questions that have nothing to do with the art. It's like maybe he's saying the problem with rap music is the sort of with like celebrities and stuff, with the person themselves as a figurehead of, entertainment, wanting to know all about their lives and everything to decide, like, should they be all that stuff versus the art, like letting the art speak for itself. And maybe that's one of the reasons why he's such a private person. It's because he thinks that that's a fucked up priority in the music industry. The whole idea of fame and celebrity status. Perhaps. I'm the only dude next to Snoop Dogg that can push the button. So maybe he's talking about like the red button that Drake would always reference. Like, I'm the only one who can really like kill the party, watch the party die. I can fix this. Like, I can, at the push of a button, just have the West Coast on standby, opening up Pandora's box. But nah, homie, we too sensitive. It'll spill out into the street. So maybe that's people, maybe he wanted to do this against Drake before. And like other people in the industry, maybe who are similarly aligned value-wise as Drake. So Drake's kind of just like maybe a representation right now for that. But he's been talked down from doing that previously because people are calling out like rappers on their shit because they don't want it to spill out into the streets. They want it to stay on wax. So he's resigned himself to not do it, but he's saying he could, which then he later in 2024 proved that he can, and he did. And then I make the call, get the coast involved, then history repeats. So history repeating, I think he's talking about like, Tupac's death and Notorious B.I.G. as well. How like that beef spilled out into real life, So yeah, okay. Let's listen to his little monologue.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned, or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one.
Okay, yeah, so survivor's guilt, that was something I brought up in part 1 that I thought he might be feeling, so that's confirmed. And then when you have survivor's guilt, like you question, like when you have success, you question what caused that. Do you deserve it? Are you worthy? Are you good enough? Was it really because so all relatable and lets me know that at least I'm on the right track, at least for some of these songs. The next song is called How Much a Dollar Cost.
How much a dollar really costs? The question is detrimental, paralyzed in my thoughts. Parasites in my stomach keep me with a gut feeling, y'all. Gotta see how I'm chilling once I park this luxury car. Hopping out feeling big as Mutombo. 20 on pump 6, 30 Marcellus called me Dumbo. 20 years ago, can't forget. Now I can lend them an ear or two. How to stack these residuals tenfold. The liberal concept that men do. 20 on 6, it didn't hear me. Indigenous African, only spoke Zulu. My American tongue was leery. Walked out the gas station, a homeless man with a 70-tan complexion. Asked me for 10 rand, stressing about dry land. Deep water, powder blue skies that crack open. A piece of crack that he wanted. I knew he was smoking, he begged and pleaded. Asked me to feed him twice, I didn't believe it. Told him beat it. Contributed money just for his pipe, I couldn't see it. He said, my son, temptation is one thing that I've defeated. Listen to me, I want a single bill from you. Nothing less, nothing more. I told him I didn't have it, then closed my door. Tell me how much a dollar cost.
So he's, talking about how he's got this wealth now from his music. Here, 20 years ago, I can't forget. Oh, okay, so this is where he was. This is where he is. Indigenous African, only spoke Zulu. My American tongue was slurry. Walked out the gas station. I'm not sure. The indigenous African only spoke Zulu. I'll probably have to genius that one later. But I think what the main point of this verse is this part here of a homeless man with a semi-tan complexion asked me for 10 rand, stressing about dry land, deep water, powder blue skies, that crack open, a piece of crack that he wanted. I knew he was smoking. So a homeless man asking him for money, but he knows it's for drugs. Maybe he's assuming. He begged and he pleaded, asked me to feed him twice. I didn't believe it. Told him beat it. Contributing money just for his pipe. I couldn't see it. And so he says, my son, temptation is one thing I've defeated. So he's rejecting that this is for drugs, perhaps. I only want a single bill from you, nothing less, nothing more. So I just want $1. I told him I ain't have it and closed my door, but he's driving this luxury car, so he clearly does have it. So how much does $1 cost? I feel like I'm going to need to listen to this song all more, like continue to get, because I feel like this is one of the songs where I feel like I'm hearing a meaning and maybe it's going to shift through the song as it goes further. I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm going to keep listening before I say them all.
Tell me how much $1 cost.
Smarter things to mind. Water, sun, and love. The one you love. All you need, the day break.
He's staring at me in disbelief. My temper is building. He's staring at me. I grab my key. He's staring at me. I started the car, then I tried to leave. But something told me to keep it in park until I could see the reason why he was mad at a stranger, like I was supposed to save him, like I'm the reason he homeless and asking me for a favor. He's staring at me. His eyes follow me with no laser. He's staring at me. I noticed that his stare is contagious, cause now I'm staring back at him, feeling some type of disrespect. If I could throw a bat at him, it'll be aiming at his neck. I never understood someone begging for goods, asking for handouts, taking it if they could. And this particular person just had it down pat, staring at me for the longest until he finally asked, have you ever opened up Exodus 14? A humble man is all that we ever need. Tell me how much $1 cost.
Smarter things to mind.
So this verse has me wondering if this is, maybe Kendrick will be on a path of, because clearly he's got a lot of judgment for people experiencing homelessness and a lot of preconceived notions of them, their character. And so maybe this is a song going to be about a journey out of that. And they're having this stare down, and he's immediately getting angry. But then, have you ever opened to Exodus 14, a Bible verse? The main message of that verse, of that whole book, for Exodus 14, that whole section, because I don't know if it's 14 what, so just the whole thing. The main message of the whole thing is trust God. So, a humble man is all that we'll ever need. Which is true. Like, if you think about Jesus, Jesus was very, very humble. So, yeah, let's keep going.
Water, sun, and love. The one you love. All you need, the day break.
Get tripping and feeling resentment. I never met a transient that demanded attention. They got me frustrated, indecisive, and power tripping. Sour emotions got me looking at the universe different. I should distance myself, I should keep it relentless. My selfishness is what got me here, who the fuck I'm kidding? So I'ma tell you like I told the last bum, crumbs and pennies, I need all of mine. And I recognize this type of panhandling all the time. I got better judgment, I know when niggas hustling. Keep in mind, when I was struggling, I did compromise. Now I comprehend, I smell grandpa's soul medicine reeking from your skin. Moonshine and gin, nigga you're babbling, your words ain't flattering. I'm imagining Denzel, be looking at O'Neal. Cause I'm in sad thrills, your gimmick is mediocre. The jig is up, I seen you from a mile away losing focus. And I'm insensitive, and I lack empathy. He looked at me and said, your potential is bittersweet. I looked at him and said, every nickel is mine to keep. He looked at me and said, know the truth, it'll set you free. You looking at the Messiah, the Son of Jehovah, the higher power, the choir that spoke the word, the Holy Spirit, the nerve of Nazareth. And I tell you just how much a dollar cost. The price of having a spot in heaven, embrace your loss, I am God.
I washed my hands, I said my grace. What more do you want from me? Tears of a clown, guess I'm not all what it's meant to be. Shades of gray will never change if I condone. Turn this page, help me change to right my wrong.
Yeah, so him saying, you know, like the homeless man was God. And I mean, that's exactly like if God was ever going to test you, it would be in that manner, which is why I think when Jesus does come back, Jesus will come back as a very oppressed minority in order to truly test Christians of that love, which a lot of this, you know, if Jesus came back as a trans woman, a trans woman of color, that, I mean, there's a lot of Christians in this country that would be failing that test. So, and I don't know why more Christians don't operate under the, you know, the notion that they might be being tested by God to not be hateful and judgmental, but here we are. So yeah, this is, you know, he's got all this judgment here and all this superiority. And he even says here, like, my selfishness is what got me here. And I've talked about this a lot about, like, that's the reward system in our society. Like, we often reward selfish or narcissistic or, you know, that kind of behavior. It gets rewarded in society. So the reward structure of our society is very, you know, like antithetical to Christian values. So not that we're supposed to be a Christian nation. We should be secular, but we have a lot of Christians who want us to be a Christian nation, but don't actually want to like have those principles of Christianity embedded in society. So yeah, judging him. Also, O'Neal and Kazam. I like that little just reference.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, good song, good message. I'm just going to let it play into the next song.
I'm with this
Complexion,
two steps.
complexion don't mean a thing.
It's a solo live.
Ooh, complexion,
Two steps.
it all feels the same.
It's a solo live.
Dark is the midnight hour, her bright is the morning sun. Give a fuck about your complexion, I know what the Germans done. Sneak me through the back window, I'm a good field nigga. I made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. You know I go the distance, you know I'm 10 toes down even if Massa listening. Cover your ears, he bout to mention complexion.
Two steps.
Okay, yeah. So complexion, skin color, right? Dark is midnight hour or bright as morning sun, so black or white. Don't give a fuck about your complexion. I know what the Germans done. So, you know, Germany, Nazi Germany, which it feels like we're really just barreling towards that same. Hopefully we can stop it. Hopefully we can stop it. Because what what's being done to our immigrant communities in this country is abominable. But yeah, sneak me through the back window. I'm a good field dude. Made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. So maybe this is like, a black guy going to a white girl's window, which there's even still today, there's a lot of people still have issues with interracial relationships. You would think that we've moved past that by now, but apparently we haven't. And it's not just old people that have issues with that, unfortunately. It's still there. Even if Massa listening, cover your ears, he about to mention complexion. Massa, like master-slave dynamic. So Massa being maybe like her dad, the master. And he's going to be mad. He's going to mention complexion. Yeah.
Complexion don't mean a thing. Ooh, complexion. It all feels the same.
Dark is the midnight hour, her bright is the morning sun. Brown skinned and bunch of blue eyes, tell me your mama can't run. Sneak me through the back window, I'm a good field nigga. I made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. You know I go the distance, you know I'm 10 toes down even if Massa listening. I got the world attention, so I'ma say something that's vital and critical for survival of mankind. The feline color should never rival. Beauty is what you make it. I used to be so mistaken by different shades and faces. Then Wit told me a woman is woman, love the creation. It all came from God, then you was my confirmation. I came to where you reside and looked around and seen more sights for sore eyes. Let the Willie Lynch theory reverse a million times with
complexion.
If you lying, color should never rival. Beauty is what you make it. I used to be so mistaken by different shades of faces. Then Wit told me a woman is woman. Love the creation. So like women, no matter what the color, is beautiful, perhaps, is what I'm getting out of that. But then Wit told me. So wit as in like your wit, but also think maybe like wit as in Whitney, perhaps. It all came from God. Then you was my confirmation. So like Whitney being the confirmation. Let the Willie Lynch theory reverse a million times with complexion. So that refers to the idea of pitting, like from a guy named Willie Lynch back in slave times, pitting slaves against each other to prevent unity. So he's saying, let's reverse that. We want unity. And that could be because there's also a bit of this sort of colorism that happens even in Black cultures, as, with mixed kids, with light-skinned people, because they get sort of different privileges being light-skinned, if that's my understanding at least. And so he's saying, like, fuck all that. All of us need to be united, regardless of our complexion, our shade.
Complexion don't mean a thing. Ooh, complexion. Two steps. It all feels the same. It's a Zulu you like it? I love it. 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 You like it? I love it.
Talk my Stu Scott. Excuse me on my Tupac. Keep your head up, when did you stop? Love and die. Color of your skin, color of your eyes. That's the real blues, baby, like you meant J's, baby. You blew me away. You think more beauty in blue, green, and gray. On my Solomon up north, 12 years a slave, 12 years of age, thinking my shade too dark. I love myself, I no longer need Cupid. Enforcing my dark side like a young George Lucas. Light don't mean you smart, being dark don't make you stupid. A frame of mind for them busters, ain't talking woo-ha. Need a paradox for the paradox, they tutored. Like two tides, LL, you lose 2 times. If you don't see you're beautiful in your complexion, it ain't complex. To put it in context, find an air beneath the kite, that's a context. Yeah, baby, I'm conscious, ain't no contest. If you like it, I love it, all your earth tones been blessed. Ain't no stress, jigaboos wanna be. I ain't talking J, I ain't talking B. I'm talking days we got school, watching movie screens. That spike your self-esteem, the new James Bond gon' be black as me. Black as brown, hazelnut, cinnamon, black tea. And it's all beautiful to me. Call your brothers magnificent, call all the sisters queens. We all on the same team, blues and pyrus, no colors ain't a thing.
Barefoot babies with no care. Teenage gun told us that don't play fair. Should I get out the car? I don't see Compton, I see something much worse. The land of the landmines, the hell that's on earth.
I want to talk about Rhapsody's verse real quick because, she's talking about struggling with feeling confident with her dark skin. And I know that's something that a lot of dark skinned women go through especially in America. I'm sure it's anywhere if you go in like a predominantly like white country or like white government, at least white entertainment. And this is why the notion of like representation is so important. And like so first, a lot of white people don't understand the importance of representation because they are already represented. They don't understand what it's like to not see themselves reflected in TV characters, movie characters, whatever. And I mean, this is something that I can like only kind of relate to in the sense that I'm a ginger and seeing ginger characters. I remember being like obsessed with Ariel when I was growing up because it was like the only ginger Disney princess. But there wasn't even a black Disney princess until Tiana, the Princess and the Frog. So like representation is incredibly important for especially like young girls and boys to grow up and, see themselves reflected in good characters. And so this isn't like every character should just be like, race switched all the time, which I mean, she talks about a black James Bond, which could be cool because James Bond is like this. It's not a person, it's a title kind of deal is the way I understand it. Or at least that's like a theory, I think. But people usually don't care if a character's a certain race, even if you have race swapped them, or a character's a certain gender or whatever, if they are well written, which a lot of characters, when you do this type of pandering in Hollywood, are not well written. And then people associate the bad writing of the character, the bad character development with the fact that they were race swapped or they have a certain race or gender identity or whatever, when it's just bad writing. But people aren't smart enough to, figure that out a lot of the time. And I have a conspiracy theory, a little tinfoil hat theory. I have a theory that Hollywood does this purposefully to capitalize on the rage marketing. So people get angry about the character being race swapped or being a different race or whatever, gender swapped, whatever they want to do for pandering purposes. So one half gets mad, one half defends it, and then they write it poorly. So then you can capitalize on more rage bait because if people know it's always going to be bad, and then and then it further divides. It's a whole theory I have that it's all like done maliciously and purposefully. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, it's just important, and I wanted to touch on that. But here at this last little bit, I don't see Compton. I see something much worse. The land of landmines, the hell that's on earth. And that could be taken a lot of ways. And it sounds like it's like a maybe a bit of a preview of maybe what the next song might be about, is because it was like a whole different vibe when he was saying this tone shift. So I'm curious but he also just could be the land of landmines, the hell that is on earth. That could just be America in general, especially for Black people. Perhaps. I don't know. Oh, and it's really fitting that this song is next. The blacker the berry. The whole saying being, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I know that from Hairspray. But yeah, so a little bit of pride here in the color. So I think that's what this next song might end up being about, especially considering the context of the previous. Well, yeah, let's see.
Down to our knees, raise the bar. Down to our knees, pray to the God. He don't believe.
Okay. So here they want us to bow down to our knees and pray to God and pray to the God we don't believe. So this could be like from the movie Sinners about how, when Black people were kidnapped and made to be slaves over here, well, they got stripped of a lot of their culture, a lot of their religious beliefs, and forced to adopt Christianity, which a lot of, Kendrick even himself is a Christian. And a lot of Black people are very strong, very devout Christians. But maybe that's I kind of wonder if that's like a nod to that historical fact, maybe. Or it could be like a God that we don't believe, maybe like the sort of white Christian nationalist version of Christianity. Is maybe what he's talking about too. But then in between that, he's saying everything Black. I don't want Black. I want everything Black. I ain't need Black. Some white, something Black. I ain't mean Black. I hate everything Black. Black, all I want all things Black. I don't need Black. I want everything Black. I don't need Black. Our eyes ain't Black. I own Black. I own everything Black. Man, I feel like that's, maybe I'll get better context as I move through the song. But that bit, that whole thing, it really intrigued me. I'm trying to understand it, and I'm struggling right now. But I feel like there's stuff here. There's a lot of meat in here, and I'm trying to get at it. Maybe I just need more context. 6 a.m, fire in the street, burn, baby, burn. That's all you want to see. And sometimes I get off watching you die in vain. It's such a shame. They may call me crazy. They may say I suffer from schizophrenia or something. But homie, you made me. Black don't crack. Yeah, I'm not sure. I got a lot of ideas, but I'm really afraid of speaking too soon here because I feel like this could mean a lot of different things. Like, I don't know if this is like a Black person to a white person, or maybe a white person to a Black person. Or maybe a little bit of both. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to keep listening.
Don't crack my nigga.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will contagious what I mean. Been feeling this way since I was 16. Came to my senses. You never liked this anyway. Fuck your friendship, I meant it. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the moon. Heritage of a small village. Part of my residence. Came from the bottom of mankind. My hair is nappy. My dick is big. My nose is round and wide. You hate me, don't you? You hate my people. Your plan is to terminate my culture. You're fucking evil. I want you to recognize that I'm a proud monkey. You vandalize my perception, but can't take down from it. And this is more than confession. I mean, I might press the button just so you know my discretion. I'm caught in my feelings. I know that you feel it. You sabotage my community, making a killing. You made me a killer. Emancipation of a real nigga.
So this could be just about like white people in general. It could be about maybe like Democrats who pandered to Black people a lot, but don't actually like help them and pass policies that would actually alleviate their circumstances. It could be talking about the music industry using Black people, using Black culture, just chewing them up and spitting them out without actually helping the community. It could be talking about, like, I think about Drake. He's like half Black, but he, I think, resonates more with his white side because of his upbringing. He's Canadian, so he doesn't understand the Black American experience, which is a very unique experience. And the only reason I am considering Drake and or the music industry is because of this line. I mean, I might press the button just so you know my discretion. And like a couple songs back, he talked about, you know, the red button. So perhaps, I think, I mean, and he could be purposefully, you know, making it vague so it means it could be directed at different people, different groups, whatever. It could be more political. It could be more personal, professional, whatever. So I think it's done this way to evoke maybe multiple meanings. But those are the potentials that I'm thinking of so far.
I said them treat me like a slave, can we black? Boy, me feel one heap of pain, can we black? I'm man, I said them put me in a chain, can we black? How much you now? Me gold chain full of rocks. And you don't see the whip, left scar from we back. But now we have a big whip back from the black. Oh, them I see we doom from the start, can we black? But remember this, every race start from the black. Just remember that.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2000.
Who is that? I mean, I don't know if it was any of these dudes. Matthew, Samuels, Stephen. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. If you know who just did that part, it sounded like they had maybe like a bit of maybe a Jamaican accent. I might be misplacing that accent, but treat me like a slave because we Black, or because call me Black, or feel a whole heap of pain. Put me in chains, the whip leaving scars, because obviously slavery was really bad. Can't believe we have to have this like debate discussion right now that slavery was bad, but apparently just want to let people know slavery was bad. It was really fucking bad. And anybody saying it wasn't that bad has very bad intentions. I'll tell you that. All them say we doomed from the start. I mean, Black people are often disadvantaged for that upward mobility that I talked about in another song because of a practice in America called redlining, which the remnants of which are still, you know, we still feel today. It's a big issue in my community because where a lot of Black businesses are, where a lot of Black neighborhoods are, is an area that usually receives like a lot of flooding. and historically. So, and then, we had Helene hit us, which really caused a lot of catastrophic damage where I live. And that disproportionately affects Black and brown communities because of historical contexts like redlining. So you have, and then we think about like Katrina and the what happened there. It's just, there's a lot of that. And so there's like where these redlining things occurred, a lot of Black people are still there from like generations, even if the practice isn't practiced anymore. And those areas were designated for like Black people because they weren't great. They weren't safe. They weren't the best places to live. And this was, in a time when Black people were not considered equal in this country. So that generationally, like that has effects. And the book, I recommended it in another video, but it's in another room. I'm not going to go get it. But From Here to Equality, about reparations for Black Americans. And it really dives into that history on a very deep level. And it's really good. I highly recommend it. There's other books I could recommend too. I think I already recommended this one, A Prison's Obsolete. This is another one, $2 a day. Like there's so many resources. There's so many resources out there for people to learn about this stuff. But yeah, so Black people are often disadvantaged because of those things. But remember this, every race start from, it says here from the Black, but I also think it's from the bad. Yeah, I don't think that's a good play. Just that perpetual optimism. This like, we're going to work. If you stack the odds against us, we'll just scale them, instead of like, we should be like really applauding Black people for the incredible resilience and success that they've had in spite of all of the barriers that we've placed in front of them historically and even currently. So yeah.
Remember this, every race start from the block. Just remember that.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will convey just what I mean. It's evident that I'm irrelevant to society. That's what you're telling me. Penitentiary would only hire me. Curse me till I'm dead. Church me with your fake prophesizing that I'ma be just another slave in my head. Institutional lies, manipulation and lies. Reciprocation of freedom only live in your eyes. You hate me, don't you? I know you hate me just as much as you hate yourself. Jealous of my wisdom and cards I dealt. Watching me as I pull up, fill up my tank, then pill out. Muscle cars like pull-ups, show you what these big wheels bout. Black and successful, this black man meant to be special. Cat scans on my radar, bitch, how can I help you? How can I tell you I'm making a killing? You made me a killer, emancipation of a real nigga.
The black of the belly, the sweeter the juice. The black of the belly, the sweeter the juice.
I have no idea, obviously, what it's like to grow up Black in America. I can only read about it and try to empathize the best I can. But I imagine that there is a lot of like internalizing certain narratives about like what you are and aren't capable of, or what is maybe inherent about you in society. Just like when you're growing up as a Black kid, I can only imagine all of the narratives that gets internalized, and the amount of self-awareness and emotional intelligence and just work that it would take to fight against those narratives and unlearn maybe those narratives. Reciprocation of freedom only live in your eyes. You hate me, don't you? I know you hate me just as much as you hate yourself. Jealous of my wisdom and cards I dealt. Yeah, I was actually going to make a video on this because it's something I've been thinking about for a while. And it's that I think that a lot of racism that like white people have, whether that is malicious, like straightforward racism, or that more like ignorant kind of like they don't know any better kind of racism, I think both stem a little bit from jealousy And I think a lot of it is the main thing of jealousy is, I mean, it's jealousy of a lot of things, but I think the big one might be community and like cultural belonging that Black people have cultivated for themselves in this country. And I think a lot of white people are jealous of that because there isn't a lot of that in this country for like white people as a whole. You have different cultures in America that, are predominantly white, but nothing that like, okay, so I had a coworker who was Black, and every time a customer would come in that was also Black, they would nod at each other. And then my coworker would be like, I got this. Let me take this one. Let me ring this one up. And I asked them about it at one point, and they said, it's a Black people thing. Like, no matter where we come from or what upbringing or experiences we've had, rich or poor, there is something that, you see another Black person and you just kind of nod. You're like, yeah, I see you. Like a universal sort of camaraderie there, even if they might not even like each other or agree, especially when you're like in a predominantly white space. At least that's what they told me. And I think that sort of connection is something that white people don't have. Like that just on the fly, like visual, like I see you, like you can see it, connection. So, and I think that something a lot of white communities lack is that sense of community and belonging, which is, I think, how we've gotten to this point politically, is that there's a lot of people that don't have any sort of community or belonging. And then the place where they have found that community and belonging is these hateful places. So yeah, I was going to do a whole video on that. I might still, because it's more nuanced and there's a lot more I could say. And I'm not trying to, I've already been recording for a while. Anyway, yeah, I agree with that. Jealousy is the envy there.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The blacker the berry, the bigger shoot.
I saw them treat me like a slave, cause we black. Oh, if you feel one heap of pain, cause we black. I man, I said them put me in a chain, cause we black. How much you now? Me gold chain full of rocks. And you don't see the whip, left yard from we back. But now we have a big whip back from the black. Oh, them a say we doom from the start, cause we black. But remember this, every race start from the block. Just remember that.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. When I finish this, if you listen, then sure you will agree. This plot is bigger than me. It's generational hatred. And cynicism is grimy, little justification. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm Black as the heart of a fucking Aryan. I'm Black as the name of Tyrone and Darius. Excuse my French, but fuck you, no fuck y'all. That's as blunt as it gets. I know you hate me, don't you? You hate my people, I can tell cause there's threats when I see you. I can tell cause your waist is deceitful. No, I can tell because you in love with the desert eagle. Thinking maliciously, he get a chain then you gon' bleed him. It's funny how Zulu and Xhosa might go to war. Two tribal armies that wanna build and destroy. Remind me of these Compton Crip gangs that live next door. Beefing with power rules, only death settled the score. So no matter how much I say I like to preach with the Panthers, or tell Georgia State Marcus Garvey got all the answers, or try to celebrate February like it's my B-Day, or eat watermelon chicken and Kool-Aid on weekdays, or jump high enough to get Michael Jordan endorsements, or watch BET cause urban support is important. So why did I weep when Trayvon Martin was in the street? When gang banging make me kill a nigga blacker than me? Hypocrite.
I see. I've been wondering this whole song when he was going to address this whole hypocrisy that he's talking about. Cause I'm like, I don't understand how he's a hypocrite so far. Oh, this song is deep. I like this. Black as the heart of a fucking Aryan. So I think this song is maybe even like a reaction to the reaction of Obama. So like I said in previous songs, I think on part 1, and even in another album, that the reactionary response from conservative white America, especially, like racist conservative white America, to Obama being president is kind of what swung this pendulum. Like they could not stand the idea of a Black man being president. And people at first thought like, oh, racism is healed, but it's not. And it proved that because all of the racists came out of the woodwork. And so maybe this is like his reaction to that because, now there's a lot more there's always been racism, but now it's like really in the mainstream where I think at least a lot of white people were unaware of it. And I think a lot of Black people were also really like hopeful, maybe a bit idealistic about Obama being elected and that, this is his second term. So I think by this point, that sort of glimmer had faded. It's funny how Zulu and Zosha, I might be saying that wrong. He said it, but I forgot, might go to war, like these two Black African tribal armies going to war. And he's saying that it's very similar to like the gangs of, different Black people's gangs going to war in the streets. And, we're all fighting each other. And this is kind of like maybe a Malcolm X sort of take. Like we shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against, white people or white supremacy. And so it don't matter how much I say I like to preach with the Panthers, the Black Panthers, again, like Malcolm X and stuff, or Georgia State, Marcus Garvey got all the answers, or try to celebrate February like it's my B-Day. All these are just like Black pride here, Black history, Black pride, Black progress. All that's representations of that. And then all of these are like Black stereotypes of Black culture that he's, because stereotypes exist for a reason. And can stereotypes be racist? Yes. But they also aren't wrong, but it just kind of depends on contextually, like how you're talking about it and what you're assuming. They're stereotypes, but you shouldn't assume things. I don't know if that makes sense. But these are stereotypes that he is embracing. And he weeps for Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was, famously killed by police. One of the many people killed, black people killed by police. And I believe he was really young, 17. He's a teenager, killed by police. Obviously you would weep for that. It doesn't make you a hypocrite, Kendrick, but I get, this gang banging stuff. And so he's feeling guilty about his past, especially now that he's grown and maybe has more knowledge of these things. He's more socially aware. He's woke, right? So, and then so he's got that guilt. But that's part of growth. We all hopefully go through that. And we've all got things in our past that are not representations of who and where we are now. I get that. I get it. All right. I don't know if you guys could hear in earlier. There was some thunder happening, and I lost power for a little while. So we've got 3 songs left on the album, so I really want to finish it tonight. It's like almost 10:30. So I'm gonna try to get through these last 3 songs, and hopefully don't have any more power. It's not raining and thundering anymore. So hopefully should be good. The next song is called You Ain't Gotta Lie, Momma Said. And I got maybe 30, 40 seconds in the song before we lost power. So I'm just going to restart it.
Steady long, steady wrong, nigga. Hey, y'all close that front door. Y'all let flies in this motherfucker.
insecurities written all on your face. So predictable your words, I know what you're gonna say. Who you fooling or you assuming you can just come and hang with the homies, but your level of realness ain't the same. Circus acts only attract those that entertain. Small talk, we know that it's all talk. We live in the laugh factory every time they mention your name. Ask where the hoes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me. Say you got the burner stash to impress me. It's all in your head, homie. Ask where the plug at to impress me. Ask where the jug at to impress me. Ask where it's at only upsets me. You sound like the feds on me. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga.
Yeah, so what I'm getting from the song is like talking about the fake people, fake rappers in maybe the same category as Drake, if not Drake himself, but rappers that are like not authentic about where they come from, about who they are. And he's like, you ain't gotta lie to kick it. And it's obvious, like when somebody's being inauthentic, you can tell. I mean, not always. Sometimes people are really, really good about hiding that stuff, but eventually the mask comes off. And it stems from, insecurity. And not that he's saying he's talking about Drake, but he used Drake an example. Like Drake clearly has some insecurities about being mixed and about maybe even being from Canada, not being like having this hard life that maybe so many people associate with being Black. And he doesn't have that. So he tries to act like he does. He tries to pretend. And, it's a circus act, only attracting those that entertain. Drake's an actor. But this isn't just, it's probably just not about just Drake. It's probably about a lot of people in the industry, being fake. Their goal isn't to make art. Their goal isn't to rap or make music for the sake of it. It's to be famous, to be an entertainer, to be a star. Asking where the hoes at to impress me, asking where the money bags to impress me, and so on and so on. Like this idea of maybe what Black culture is, it's going to be like the idea that you're going to get from rap songs and music videos, like popular rap songs and music videos, which do glorify like, women and money and drugs and stuff like that. So if you are from the outside trying to impersonate that, then that's all you're really going to know. That's all you're really going to represent. And I think Kendrick's got a problem with people trying to represent Black culture without understanding the nuance and the deeper stuff, not speaking on the deeper stuff, is what I'm getting it from this so far. And he's saying Momma said, so this is like, Mama's advice. And then you sound like the feds, homie. Like you can totally tell, like during these like protests that have been happening lately in our like political climate. Like I think of the No Kings protests, like it becomes so obvious when you look around and you can see like, oh, that's a Fed. That's like an undercover officer, because they don't blend. It's so like, how you doing, kiddos? How you doing, fellow kids, fellow protesters? It's just so obvious. Like you're faking. You're not. Anyway, yeah.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. And the world don't respect you and the culture don't accept you, but you think it's all love. And the girls gon' neglect you once your parody is done. Reputation can't protect you if you never had one. Jealousy, complex, emotional, complex, self-pity, complex, under oath, complex.
The loudest one in the room, nigga, that's a complex. Let me put it back in proper context.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie.
And this here, like the culture don't accept you. Again, I think, Drake, and I'm sorry for anybody who's annoyed with me thinking this, but I mean, I can't single out any other rapper because I just don't know. And I'm sure there are other rappers in the industry who are culture vultures all the same. You think it's all love, and the girl's going to neglect you once the parody is done. So it's saying you're not even authentic. You're just doing a parody of what you think Black culture is. You're not really in it. It says repetition can't protect you if you never had one. I'm wondering if that's that's like a typo and it should be reputation. Let me listen to that line again.
The girl's gonna neglect you once your parody is done. Reputation can't protect you if you never had.
Yeah, I think he's saying reputation. Like if you don't have a reputation, yeah, it can't protect you. Because it's all fake. It's not authentic. So you've got a jealousy complex, an emotional complex, self-pity complex, under oath complex. The loudest one in the room, that's a complex. Yeah, like if you are the type of person that needs, if you walk into a room and you need the attention to be on you 100% of the time, like you need to be the center of the tension, the center of the conversation all the time, even maybe when it's supposed to be somebody else's moment, that's a complex. That's a very narcissistic complex, very ego-driven complex. And it's very unlikable. So you're not going to have many people want to be around you. Unless you're wealthy, have high status, have good connections, then people will want to be around you, but it won't be because they like you. It's just because they want to use you. And then like you ain't got to try so hard. You don't want to be a try hard. Like just go with the flow, be yourself. It's easier that way. And, you know, then that way, you know, too, if people like you, then they like you for who you are, not who you're pretending to be. Because it gets hard to keep up with an identity that's not true. Because the mask slips off no matter what.
Let me put it back in proper context. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my neck. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my neck. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my neck. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my neck. You ain't gotta try so hard. Ask where the hoes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me. Say you got the burner stash to impress me. It's all in the head, homie. Ask where the plug at to impress me. Ask where the jug at to impress me. Ask where it's at only upsets me. You sound like the feds on me. What do you got to offer? Tell me before we off here. Put you deep in that coffin. Been allergic to talking. Been aversion to bullshit and sell a dream in the auction. Tell me just who your boss is. Niggas be fugazi. Bitches be fugazi. This is for fugazi. Niggas and bitches who make habitual line babies. Bless them little hearts. You can never persuade me. You can never relate me to him, to her, or that, or them, or you. The truth. You love to bend in the back, in the bed, on the floor. That's your hoe. On the couch, in the mouth. I'll be out. Really don't. See loud rich niggas got low money, and loud broke niggas got no money. The irony behind it is so funny, and I seen it all this past year. Pass on some advice we feel. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard.
I'm wondering what that background sounds were. Like it sounded like a party, people laughing, a man laughing. I don't know. Like, I don't know where that was from or what that might signify. And there was a word. I'm going to have to hit back. It's already gone to the next. fugazi. I don't know what that word means. Fake. So it's fake, bogus, inauthentic. Okay. That definitely plays into the theme of the song. So I think it's just more of that. I mean, Kendrick is just saying, I think, the same thing in as many ways as possible to make sure it hits, to make sure it addresses maybe everybody that he's talking about or talking to on this subject. I like this one. Yeah, so we're going to move on to the next one. Next one is called I. It's the letter I.
Mic on or not? I want the mic. We bringing up nobody but the #1 rapper in the world. He done traveled all over the world. He came back just to give you some game. All the little boys and girls, come on in.
1, 2, 1, 2, what's happening,
For
fool?
you, come on out.
I done been through a whole lot. Tried tribulation, but I know God. The devil wanna put me in a bow tie. Pray that the holy water don't go dry, yeah. As I look around me, so many motherfuckers wanna down me. But an amigo never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me. And I love myself. I want you looking at me. Tell me what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police. I love myself. Illuminated by the hand of God, boy, don't seem shy. I love myself. One day at a time. They wanna say it's a war outside, bomb in the street, gun in the hood, mob of police, rock on the corner with a line full of fiend and a bottle full of lean, and I might wanna scream, These days of frustration keep come to the front. Yeah, I duck these cold faces, post up feet, fight for bases. Dreams are reality's peace. Blow steam in the face of the beast. Sky can fall down, we can cry now. Look at me, motherfucker, I smile. I love myself. And when you're looking at me, tell me what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police.
I really don't want to pause it, but it is so groovy. It's so good. I'm getting sucked in. I'm really not even paying attention to the lyrics. I'm trying really hard to, but this is ooh, I like this one. I like this one a lot. From what I'm getting so far, from what I did hear of the lyrics, it's a lot of like self-love, tooting his own horn. I mean, yeah, like living in a place like Compton can definitely, I think we've talked about this before, like feel like a war zone. Especially living just as a Black person in America, especially in certain areas, can feel like a war zone with like police violence and racism and stuff. So yeah, just more of that. But again, just like tooting on his own horn. Like I love myself, self-love. We love self-love. And I don't think it's like in an arrogant sort of way. It's in a like a confidence sort of way. Yeah, I need a pause for copyright. Even though it'll probably still get copyright struck, but I can appeal it and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just this groove, the beat, all of the musicality of it right now is really, I like it a lot.
Illuminated. All y'all come to the front. Y'all come up to the front. Baby girl, you, come on.
Crazy. What you gonna do?
Lift up your head and keep moving. Turn the mic up. It's the fashion police, I wear my heart on my sleeve, let the runway start. You know the miserable dealer company. What do you want from me and my skies? Everybody lack confident, everybody lack confident. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this nigga
I love myself.
And when you're looking at me, tell me what do you see?
I love myself.
I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police.
I love myself.
Illuminated by the hand of God, boy, don't seem shy.
I love myself.
I went to war last night with a automatic weapon. Don't nobody call a medic. I'ma do it till I get it.
Okay, I'm gonna rewind there because we have like a little beat switch. I'm gonna rewind there. We got a little beat switch. I'm gonna just want to talk about a little bit of what I'm thinking so far. Good wordplay here. You know, piece to fashion, wear, like clothes, on the sleeve and then the runway. So love the wordplay that he does. How many times my potential was anonymous. That makes me think of like, I've always had this potential, and there's so many other people who probably have similar potentials, but we just don't know their names yet. They're just anonymous. At one point I was anonymous, but this was always in me. Is the way I'm kind of taking that line. I don't know if I'm reading that correctly, but that's how I'm interpreting it. Like I love myself, fee, fi, fo, fum, like a giant. So I think Kendrick's like saying like, I am a giant, which is ironic because he is short, but his presence is large. His presence is tall. His presence is gigantic, and his impact is also gigantic or giant or large. And I think that's the fee, fi, fo, fum there is what that's referring to. Okay, so we're going to come back to here and get to this beat switch and see what he says.
1, 2, 3. I went to war last night with a automatic weapon. Don't nobody call a medic. I'ma do it till I get it right. I went to war last night. I've been dealing with depression ever since an adolescent. I can never hear the blessing, I can never see the message, I can never take the lead, I can never bubble weed from a negative and letting them annihilate me. And it's 7 and I'm moving at a million speed, finna run into a building, let my body. Hey, hold on. Not while I'm up here. Not on my time. Killer music. Not on my time. We can say that shit for the streets. We can say that shit just for the kids, bro. 2015 niggas tired of playing victim, dog. Niggas ain't trying to play Vic Tutu. How many niggas we done lost? How many? Yeah, how many we lost? No, for real, answer the question. How many niggas we done lost, bro? This year alone. Exactly, so we ain't got time to waste time, my nigga. Niggas gotta make time, bro. The judge make time. You know that, the judge make time, right? The judge make time, so it ain't shit. It shouldn't be shit for us to come out here and appreciate the little bit of life we got left, dog. On the dead homies, Charlie P, you know that, bro. You know that. Right, it's Mando. Right, it's Mando. Now, I say this because I love you niggas, man. I love all my niggas, bro. Exactly, enough said. Enough said. We gonna get back to the show and move on, cause that shit petty, my nigga. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. We gonna do some acapella shit before we get back to all my niggas. Listen to this. I promised Dave I never used the phrase fuck nigga. He said think about what you saying. Fuck niggas. No better than Samuel on the Django. No better than a white man with slave boats. Sound like I needed some soul searching. My pops gave me some game in real person. Retraced my steps on what they never taught me. Did my homework fast before government caught me. So I'ma dedicate this one verse to Oprah on how the infamous sensitive N-word control us. So many artists gave her an explanation to hold us. Well, this is my explanation straight from Ethiopia. N-E-G-U-S. Definition, royalty. King royalty. Wait, listen. N-E-G-U-S. Description, black emperor, king ruler. Now let me finish. The history books overlooked the word and hide it. America tried to make it to a house divided. The homies don't recognize we been using it wrong. So I'ma break it down and put my game in a song. N-E-G-U-S. Say it with me, or say no more. Black stars can come and get me. Take it from Oprah Winfrey. Tell her she right on time. Kendrick Lamar, by far, realest sneakers alive.
Okay, that was really interesting. I kept thinking the beat was going to come back, but so here, it's like this, almost like it's like a live. I don't know. It almost seems like smaller, maybe not a full show, maybe like a battle or just like a smaller, more local show kind of thing. Maybe is what it sounds like. I mean, it's probably, I don't know how it is in the studio, how he records these things, but here, like the judge make time. Like, first off, like life is short. And, when you grow up in a place like Compton, you that reality sets in for you. You learn that lesson a lot quicker than most people do about how quickly life can just be snuffed out in an instant. So you gotta, enjoy the time and make the most of your time. And then judges make time. Like judges, they see all these court cases and then they sentence you to time. So they make time. They make you do time. Again, on the dead homies, it's a line that's coming back, pay homage to those that we've lost. Success and honor of those that we've lost. And he has some a cappella stuff. And then I promised Dave I'd never use the phrase, this, and I'm assuming that's Dave Free. And to say that is to be no better than Samuel L. Jackson in Django Unchained, where he's a slave, but he's above the other slaves. Like he's got seniority and ranking and respect, he thinks. And so he's more eager to serve. He's more eager to, turn on his own for the appraise or the approval or the gifts from maybe like the people who are enslaving him and his people. And and taking this beyond race a little bit. And I know this is strictly about race because of everything he's talking about, but in the only way that I can relate from my own experiences is, we see this with just how we're divided in terms of like the working class versus the ruling class, how we so easily turn on each other when we're all kind of in the same plight, but they elevate a little bit of us just enough to feel like we have superiority over the others. So it's so much easier to help enforce the ruling class's ideals, ideology, goals, even if they are actually harmful to us, because we feel like we're getting something out of it. And that's essentially what some slaves ended up doing. They ended up, like Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django Unchained was that same type of antagonist, I guess you would call it. Retrace my steps on what they never taught me, so that history, that culture that was lost because of slavery for Black folks. Did my homework fast before the government caught me. So I'm going to dedicate this one verse to Oprah on how the infamous, sensitive N-word control us. Because I know like the use of the N-word is contentious among Black folks. It's one of the reasons why I won't say, there's many reasons why I won't say it, but I've been given like the pass by like Black friends and Black people I've known in the past. Like, oh yeah, you can say it, like you get the pass. And I still won't say it because Black people aren't a monolith. And as long as there are Black people who are not okay with it, I don't feel comfortable saying it. There are Black people who are not okay with other Black people saying it. Like they won't say it themselves because they think it sets Black people's whole back because it's so, originally a slur. And so there's a debate on like the reclaiming, and that's not my debate. That's not my place to have that opinion. But I do know that that is a contentious thing in the Black community, especially like among maybe older Black people who grew up with it being just a slur. And so for them, it's just painful. And so I don't want to contribute to any of that or offend any of that. So even if I've been given the pass, I still don't. That's just me personally. I just don't feel like it's right. But so, in terms of how it controls Black people, there's a lot of mixed feelings there. So yeah, I feel like it is a sensitive topic. So he goes to his roots, Ethiopia, which is the only African nation that was never colonized by white colonists.
They never got Ethiopia.
He's saying Negus, Negus, I'm guessing that's a word from Ethiopia, an Ethiopian word. And the definition is, like black royalty, black king. And so maybe this is like him saying, this is how we are reclaiming it. I mean, it doesn't sound like it sounds similar to the N word, but it's just, when he says it at the end, he's ni Gus, like Gus, not God, like whatever. And I do know the N word obviously derives from negro, like the color, from Spanish, French, like Latin based, words for the word black. I mean, that's just the word for black in those languages. And that's, I think, but then it, obviously got, turned into a slur and then reclaimed, and then that's still contentious. And so maybe he's bringing this in as like maybe a way to still have pride because of the meaning where it comes from and the sort of regal meaning that it has to the word, to maybe give it another, I don't know. I'm not sure how Oprah Winfrey comes into this though. I'll have to genius that after this. I'm sure. I maybe there's like something she said or controversy, maybe something on her show. I don't know. I don't have a very positive opinion of Oprah Winfrey anymore. I actually used to. My mom was obsessed with Oprah. She watched Oprah like every freaking day. Like she loved that woman. I watched a lot of Oprah growing up and had this like very polished, very nice image of her. And I know her, like her backstory, her upbringing, and how traumatic that was. But I also know that she's been a little problematic in more recent years, which I think is just kind of like par for the course when you have wealth and status for that long. But I mean, she really did, build herself up. It just sucks to see someone who I think probably, was genuinely like good and good at heart to get corrupted by money and stuff. But again, maybe it's just headlines. Maybe that's, smear campaigns. But I'm pretty sure she went to Jeff Bezos' wedding, and I have a negative taste in my mouth for anybody who went to that. So, I mean, I'm immediately judging anybody who went to that in a negative way, personally. But yeah, I think that there's something more context there that I just need to go on to Genius and look up and figure that out. But yeah, this was a good song. This definitely seemed like a not just a because it starts off a very like self-empowerment song, then it kind of shifts into a black empowerment song. I feel like there's also probably a lot more in here, a lot more depth that I'm missing. I already said this once, but I'm really excited to listen to this album just in full, straight through, without any pausing, just on my own time, to further digest it and kind of digest it as like a whole piece and not individually. And I'm hoping that also gives more context to things, because I feel like this is definitely one of his denser albums that I think has a lot of meaning that I need to maybe listen. There's a couple songs in here that I need to listen to again, I think, to fully get the meaning and digest it all. So far, I got one more song left. It's a 12-minute song, which ain't nothing because I listen to Tool. 12-minute songs are pretty par for the course for Tool. So yeah, but this so far, I mean, I got one more song left, but I've got nothing but praise for this album. There hasn't been a single miss on this album so far. And everything is just layered with things to analyze. I feel like there's so much going on in here. There's so much depth to this album. I can tell a lot of work, a lot of love went into making this. Yeah, I can see why this is so highly requested and so acclaimed. Yeah, this has been fantastic. This has really been fantastic. I'm excited to get into the last song. It's a 12-minute song, like I said, but what's it called? Mortal Man. All right. Oh, no wonder that has 119. Yeah, I can see why that's a highly played song. For sure. All right, Mortal Man. Last song of the album. I'm sure it's going to be great. Every song on this album has been great. Not a single miss, like I said. A lot of depth here. That bass.
The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Do you believe in me? Are you deceiving me? Could I let you down easily and show?
Okay. I loving the bass on this. I mean, there's been a lot of great bass on a lot of these songs. A lot of really funky, jazzy music. I really am enjoying the musicality of this album a lot. The Ghost of Mandela. I hope my flows, they propel it. So Nelson Mandela. Let these words be your earth and moon. You consume every message. But here, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? So obviously, like this, we get into a deeper meaning here, like maybe more on the surface meaning. Look left and right. Make sure you ask your friends when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Because I think we've talked about this in other songs. When shit goes wrong in your life, when trauma happens, when the unexpected happens, when shit hits the fan, that's when you really find out who your real friends are. And you find out who isn't really, your ride or die, who doesn't really care about you. Maybe they just cared about what you could give them, but not you as a person. And you find that out in the toughest moments, which sucks that you have to wait till those moments to find that out, but that's just when it happens. But I also think it can mean, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? I could see it meaning the same, like, are your fans going to stand by you through your struggles, maybe shit happening? Are they going to understand, see your side, still support you? But also it could be like, when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Like, where is your integrity? Where is your line? Do you have that even figured out? Because if you're a fan of somebody, it becomes really easy to start to dismiss things that shouldn't be dismissed. And that's when you get into like stan behavior. And that's not healthy, and that's not what we should do. Like, so it could be like a double there. Like, are you still a fan even if shit hits the fan? Maybe you shouldn't be. Obviously when it's like friends and stuff, but we all, even with our friends, we have to have those lines. So I guess it's just context. Shit hitting the fan can mean so many different things. It can mean things that are completely out of your control, where you are totally a victim to, but it also could be like self-inflicted. If shit hits the fan because you're just being stupid or a piece of shit or whatever, hurting people, shit can hit the fan. So context. But so I'm curious to see where the song goes, because I can see this meaning a couple different things. Yeah.
When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Do you believe in me? Are you deceiving me? Could I let you down easily? Is your heart where it need to be? Is your smile on permanent? Is your foul on lifetime? What you know what the sermon is? If I died in this next line, if I'm tried in the court of law, if the industry cut me off, if the government want me dead, plant cocaine in my car, would you judge me a drug head or see me as K. Lamar? Or question my character and degrade me on every blog? Want you to love me like Nelson, want you to hug me like Nelson. I freed you from being a slave in your mind. You're very welcome. You tell
Okay, so he kind of just answered my question. So it's, how well do you know me? Because yeah, the government can easily frame you to be, and it's been done in the past, to be a person that you're not. And he's like saying, like, would you see me as a drug head or as Kendrick, like as who I am, how you know me to be? And so I want you to love me like Nelson Mandela. You know, he was arrested and in jail for quite a long time in South Africa. And then he got out and he became president because people believed in him, and he was arrested and jailed wrongly, if I remember correctly, or unjustly. But people understood, you know, they knew him. And so they saw him through that. And so he's kind of wondering, would you do the same? Like if something similar happened, would you, if it was like lies being thrown around in my name, are you going to believe those lies and like write shit about me, talk shit about me on your blogs and on social media? Or are you going to still support me and know who I am? And I think we've kind of gotten that answer with the Kendrick Drake beef, because Drake's thrown all these allegations out towards Kendrick. And I mean, most people aren't really buying it, because Kendrick, I think, has over the years shown us who he is as an artist and as, you know, a person. He's kind of laid his soul bare on these albums, especially for Mr. Morale. So people are more likely to believe Kendrick at this point. And so I think he's accomplished that. But it's something that even back in 2015 was still on his mind. Like, he's got skeletons in his closet, but he's owned up to those things. He's had accountability for these things. He's grown for those things. And that's why we don't hold those things against him, because it's that growth and accountability that's key, that reflection. Because you're not entitled for, you know, forgiveness unless you show that. And not saying like, I mean, I don't know all, I mean, I only know Kendrick stuff based on his albums, but clearly in these albums, you can see a lot of, you know, reflection here and a lot of debating about these things, this guilt and these desires and all the, I mean, he's laying a lot, he's being very vulnerable in a lot of these albums and these songs for us. And I think that's why people appreciate him so much. It's certainly why I appreciate him so much.
Preach you for being a slave in your mind, you're very welcome. You tell me my song is more than a song, it's surely a blessing. But a prophet ain't a prophet till he asks you this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The coast of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that, do you believe in me? How much you believe in her? You think she gon' stick around if them 25 years occur? You think he gon' hold you down when you down behind bars hurt? You think y'all on common ground if you promise to be there first? Can you be immortalized without your life being expired? Even though y'all share the same blood, is it worth the time? Like, who got your best interest? Like, how much are you dependent? How clutch are the people that say they love you and who pretended? How tough is your skin when they turn you in? Do you show forgiveness? What brush do you bend with dust in your shoulders from being offended? What kind of den did they put you in when the lions start hissing? What kind of bridge did they burn revenge on your mind when it's mentioned? You wanna love like Nelson, you wanna be like Nelson, you wanna walk in his shoes, but your peacemaking seldom. You wanna be remembered and deliver the message that considered the blessing of everyone. This your lesson for everyone. Say, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you
I already tell this song's going to be a long one because I'm already pausing again. We're like 3 minutes into this 12-minute song and he's already saying so much. I mean, this is so good. Can you be immortalized without your life being expired? I mean, we immortalize so many people that die, and like there's so many people that are so eager to die, who think that that's the best thing that they can do with their life, whether that's through like gang violence, whether that's through like the military. Like I know like my husband, he was in the military, and I mean that was a common mindset among him and his fellow Marines, dying like a hero, this hero's death. I think it's a thing that a lot of young men deal with and feel. I don't feel like it's as common with women, if I'm being honest. Who's got your best interest? How much are you dependent? Who's pretending? Yeah, like this is all stuff that it can be hard to figure out. Do you show forgiveness? What brush do you bend when dusting your shoulders off from being offended? I mean, yeah, we are pretty easily offended nowadays. But you gotta just brush it off. You can't let everything get to you. What kind of bridge did they burn? Revenge on your mind when it's mentioned. So like when you got these bridges that are burned, these people that did you wrong that offended you. Is it revenge when it's mentioned? Like, are you seeking vengeance? Or do you want to love like Nelson? Do you want to be like Nelson? You want to walk in his shoes, but you're peacemaking seldom. So you want to be this type of person, but you're not practicing that in life. And, this could be talking about a lot of people that he knows, especially like when it comes to gang violence and stuff. Peacemaking is probably not the first choice, I would imagine. I could be wrong. And please, obviously, correct me if I'm making any kind of like wrong assumptions on that. But I imagine, because like that's one of the things that I've read about with like is in these hard neighborhoods, like being like seen as weak, showing emotion, maybe even being feminine. That's why a lot of like LGBT Black youths struggle. They suffer from higher rates of suicide and higher rates of homelessness because, they get ostracized from their communities, and they get ostracized even by their own parents who do so out of a fear of like safety. They worry for their child's safety because they know they're going to be a target. But then there's like a negative, reinforcement there that happens, and they just feel more excluded from their homes now. And it's a thing. I would pull it up on my computer. I actually wrote an essay about this, and I'd pull it up to get like these sources. But anytime I try to have any more windows open while I'm recording it, my computer just doesn't like it. So you're going to have to take my word for it right now, I guess. I could always do a video on it more in depth with sources, but it's a problem for Black LGBT youths. But because of that need to be seen as like strong, masculine, tough kind of thing that helps perpetuate gangs and gang violence, it also perpetuates violence, which is, opposite of peacekeeping. And he's saying, can't be like Nelson, you can't be this paragon of good and forgiveness if you're not acting it. Yeah, I think this song is saying a lot.
This your lesson for everyone. Say when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Once you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The voice of Mandela, hope this flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you riding with me, nigga, I've been wrote off before. I got abandonment issues. I hold grudges like bad judges. Don't let me resent you. That's not Nelson like. Want you to love me like Nelson. I went to Robbins Island analyzing. That's where his cell is, so I can find clarity. Like how much you cherish me. Is this relationship a fake or real as the heavens be? See, I gotta question it all. Family, friends, fans, cats, dogs, trees, plants, grass. How the wind blow. Murphy's Law, Generation X. Will I ever be your ex? Flaws of a baby step. Marred by the mouth a bit. Pause, put me under stress. Crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow, put my back against the wall. How many leaders you said you needed, then left them for dead? Is it Moses, is it Huey Newton, or Detroit Red? Is it Martin Luther, JFK shooter, you assassin? Is it Jackie, is it Jesse? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? That nigga gave us Billie Jean, you say he touched those kids? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hold my flow, stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you ride with me, nigga, let me ask this question, nigga.
Okay. Yeah, so he's saying, you know, like Michael Jackson gave us Billie Jean. You really think he touched some kids? Like when shit hit the fan, are you still a fan? And because people will say things about you inevitably, especially when you get big. People are going to make up lies about you, or they're going to dig up the skeletons in your closet that you've already worked through, healed from, moved past, grown from. And you're going to have to constantly explain yourself. And if you choose not to, people might just run with that narrative. And I think in the case of Michael Jackson, I don't think he hurt any of those kids. I think he was so abused and developmentally stunted by his family and his upbringing and everything that he like mentally was more like a kid in some capacity. At least from my understanding, from what I've read. I mean, I haven't done too much research into it. And it's also like the whole thing of like, do you really want to know your idols? Like, don't meet your heroes type of thing. Like, I like to not know so much about the artists that I like, because, I mean, it really can change your perspective. And I like that Kendrick has this degree of separation between his artistry and his personal life. Even if he gets really personal in his artistry, there's still like a good degree of separation where, you know, you don't really know him. It's still parasocial in a way. So I do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm excited to see where the song goes some more, but I think I could. I'm already been for these last 3 songs. I'm already recording for an hour, and I think I could just say so much more.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one. A war that was based on apartheid and discrimination. Made me want to go back to the city and tell the homies what I learned. The word was respect. Just because you wore a different gang color than mine doesn't mean I can't respect you as a black man. Forgetting all the pain and hurt we caused each other in these streets. If I respect you, we unify and stop the enemy from killing us. But I don't know. I'm no mortal man. Maybe I'm just another nigga. Shit, and that's all I wrote. I was gonna call it another nigga, but it ain't really a poem. I just felt like it's something you probably could relate to. Other than that, now that I finally got a chance to holler at you, I always want to ask you about a certain situation, about a metaphor actually. You spoke on the ground. What you mean by that? What the ground represent?
The ground is gonna open up and swallow the evil.
Right.
That's how I see it. My word is born. I see, and the ground is the symbol for the poor people.
Right.
The poor people is gonna open up this whole world and swallow up the rich people. Because the rich people gonna be so fat and they're gonna be so appetizing. You know what I'm saying? Wealthy, appetizing. The poor gonna be so poor and hungry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be, it might be some cannibalism out this motherfucker. They might eat the rich. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me ask you this then. Do you see yourself as somebody that's rich or somebody that made the best?
Okay, yeah. That's what I've been saying. Class solidarity, please. Can we get a little class solidarity up in here, up in America, please? Yeah, so I am so glad to finally hear the end of this, like where this was going. So we learned more about like apartheid, discrimination, the history, whether that's, in Africa or in America. But he wants to go back and explain to his city, his community, like, hey, we got to set aside our differences. We got to set aside these colors, these gang things, and unite and respect each other. And I think it's so beautiful because, like, listening to this in retrospect after, like, the pop out and everything and what he's done, like, you hear all of these goals. He's been thinking about this for, like, over a decade now. And to know that it comes to fruition for him. I think it makes the song so much more meaningful because you see where his mind was in 2015, 2014, whatever, and where it all ends up with the pop out and everything after the beef, that unity that's happened. And I mean, if you live in Compton, tell me what it's like right now since the pop out. Like, has gang violence gone down? Is it the same? Was that just like a moment of unity? Or has that had like ripple effects that you still feel to this day when it comes to like the unity of the gangs in Compton? So if you live in Compton, please let me know that. I'd be very curious because, I mean, these are really big ambitions, and just to see what he's accomplished, it's incredible. It's incredibly, he will definitely go down in history as a very prolific influencer, one of the greatest of all time rappers, for sure. He's a legend for everything he's done. And especially because you can see the work and the desire there that built up to that point. It's really something. And who is he talking with? It doesn't say. The voice sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard this voice, kind of. I don't know if you know who he's talking with here about like eating the rich. Let me know too in the comments because I'm not sure who that is.
It might be some cannibalism out this motherfucker. They might eat the rich. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me ask you this then. Do you see yourself as somebody that's rich or somebody that made the best of their own opportunities?
I see myself as a natural born hustler, a true hustler in every sense of the word. I took nothing, I took the opportunities. I worked at the most menial and degrading job and built myself up so I can get it to where I owned it. I went from having somebody manage me to me hiring the person that works my management company. Right. I changed everything. I realized my destiny in a matter of 5 years, you know what I'm saying, and made myself a millionaire.
Right.
I made millions for a lot of people. Now it's time to make millions for myself, you know what I'm saying? I made millions for the record companies. I made millions for these movie companies. Now we make millions for us.
And through your different avenues of success, how would you say you managed to keep a level of sanity?
By my faith in God, by my faith in the game, and by my faith in all good things come to those that stay true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was happening to me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was noticing.
I'm just going to look it up. I got to find out who he's speaking to because I feel like it's going to add so much more context for this conversation that he's having. Okay. So it's a faux interview between him and Tupac. So it's like maybe he's taking snippets of what Tupac has said and it's like pretending like it's an interview. but he's learning from it. He's growing. It's okay. That's really interesting. I know I knew the voice was familiar. I just couldn't place it. It's been so long since I've listened to Tupac. I think the last time I listened to Tupac, I was a teen. Ooh, I probably should revisit that.
By my faith in God, by my faith in the game, and by my faith in all good things come to those that stay true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was happening to me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was noticing shit. I was punching the right buttons, and it was happening. So it's no problem. You know, I mean, it's a problem, but I'm not finna let them know. I'm finna go straight through.
Would you consider yourself a fighter at heart, or somebody that only reacts when they back is against the wall?
Shit, I like to think that at every opportunity I've ever been threatened with resistance, it's been met with resistance. And not only me, but it goes down my family tree. You know what I'm saying? It's in my veins to fight back.
All right, well, how long you think it take before niggas be like, we fighting the war, I'm fighting the war I can't win, and I want to lay it all down?
In this country, a black man only have like 5 years we can exhibit maximum strength. And that's right now, while you a teenager, while you still strong, while you still want to lift weights, while you still want to shoot back. Because once you turn 30, it's like they take the heart and soul out of a man, out of a black man in this country. And you don't want to fight no more. And if you don't believe me, you can look around. You don't see no loudmouth 30-year-old motherfuckers.
That's crazy, because me being one of your offsprings
I mean, that's definitely changed, I think. I mean, of course, like, the younger generations are definitely louder, but I think for millennials, especially, a lot of us maybe haven't fully matured. We're still a little stunted, and that some of that's to do with like economic stuff and incentivization. The incentivization structures in our society, our reward structures in our society, that, you know, a lot of us feel like kids at heart. I don't know. So I don't know how much that holds true, but this is really good.
See no loudmouth 30-year-old motherfuckers.
That's crazy, because me being one of your offsprings of the legacy you left behind, I can truly tell you that it's nothing but turmoil going on. So I wanted to ask you, what you think is the future for me and my generation today?
I think that niggas is tired of grabbing shit out the stores, and next time it's a riot, it's gonna be like bloodshed, for real. I don't think America know that. I think America think we was just playing. It's gonna be some more playing, but it ain't gonna be no playing. It's gonna be murder. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like Nat Turner, 1831, up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen.
That's crazy, man. In my opinion, the only hope that we kind of have left is music and vibrations. A lot of people don't understand how important it is. You know, sometimes I can like get behind a mic and I don't know what type of energy I'm gonna push out or where it comes from. Trip me out sometimes.
Because it's spirits. We ain't even really rapping. We just letting our dead homies tell stories for us.
Damn. I wanted to read one last thing to you. It's actually something a good friend had wrote, describing my world. It says, the caterpillar is a prisoner to the streets that conceived it. Its only job is to eat or consume everything around it in order to protect itself from this mad city. While consuming this environment, the caterpillar begins to notice ways to survive. One thing it notices is how much the world shuns him, but praises the butterfly. The butterfly represents the talent, the thoughtfulness, and the beauty within the caterpillar. But having a harsh outlook on life, the caterpillar sees the butterfly as weak and figures out a way to pimp it to his own benefits. Already surrounded by this mad city, the caterpillar goes to work on the cocoon, which institutionalizes him. He can no longer see past his own thoughts. He's trapped. While trapped inside these walls, certain ideas take root, such as going home and bringing back new concepts to this mad city. The result? Wings begin to emerge, breaking the cycle of feeling stagnant. Finally free, the butterfly sheds light on situations that the caterpillar never considered, ending the internal struggle.
Although the butterfly and caterpillar are completely different, they are one and the same. What's your perspective on that? Pop.
Yeah, that last bit of spoken word about the caterpillar and the butterfly and what symbolism of the cocoon being institutionalized, and the caterpillar seeing the butterfly as weakness, so he pimps it out, like, and it gives like the context of like the title of the album. And like, I love that the album as a whole has all this depth and this meaning and these themes to it. And that is, and then like, you know, what's your perspective on that? Like, he wants to know Pac's perspective, but Pac's not here. And as an artist, maybe the art, like the person that you're idolizing, that you look up to the most, isn't even around to see the ways in which they've inspired you. And you still have so many questions for them. And it was all just cut so short by all the stuff that you're talking about here. Wow. Like, I'm getting a little like welled up, like thinking about it. This was really beautiful. Wow. That last caterpillar butterfly spoken word poem here. That is so deep, so beautifully written. And the conversation that he's having. And so then it puts into context too, I remember you was conflicted monologue that we keep adding to throughout the album. And to find out like he's building this for Pac. I mean, it's for Black people, for Black culture. You know, you can hear it in a lot of the music too, like the homage is being played to Black music, Black history. And he talks about how like that is our way forward. That is our outlet. I just see this album as like both a critique of the politics, music politics, American politics, you know, and how that has negatively maybe shaped or influenced Black communities and Black culture, but also so it's a critique, but it's also a huge, huge celebration of Black culture, Black resilience, everything. And it's beautiful. And it's also paying a lot of homage to Black artists and Black creators that he admires, but also just like, because there's so many like, understand like funk and jazz and like a little bit of rock, blues, aren't like, there's so many, and all of those things, they come from Black musicians. Black people pioneered so much of the arts and music of our country. Even like white genres, rock and roll, like that comes from Black people. It's all Black music. But right now, rap is really, you know, and hip hop is what we consider to be predominantly Black culture music. And I think Kendrick was seeing like this shift of like pulling it away from Black people for the sake of just money and kind of stripping it from the soul, the heart and soul that makes it. And he's trying to reclaim that. Yeah, I want to listen to this album again already. Just straight through. Because this was really great. And I feel like there's so much more to unpack. I know that there's so many, I already know there's so much I miss, because this album is layered and deep. There's so much here. But it's so beautiful. I can see why this was so acclaimed and so highly requested by y'all. I'm really glad I got to experience this. I'm really blown away by this, like that interview, that back and forth, and then the caterpillar poem, all like the metaphor and the symbolism is so good. Like, you'd think after I've listened to Mr. Morale and like GNX and all the rap beef, which is later on in his career, his discography, his journey as an artist. And so you hope to see an upward, trajectory. And so I've been kind of like trying to manage my expectations with these albums because I know like he's, I'm seeing him grow as an artist. But yeah, this was really like top notch. Yeah, I'm about to just like add the whole album to my favorites and listen to it again. I'll probably listen to it tomorrow, like while I'm cleaning or something, or while I go on a walk, and just the whole thing in one straight through listen to kind of digest it all. But yeah, I am thoroughly impressed here, especially with his last song. And it's crazy because this last song, I mean, I know it's not as much of like a bop, you're not playing it, bumping it, dancing to it or whatever as maybe some of the other songs, but 57, it's like the lowest amount and out of like the replays, but I feel like this has like the most depth. This is where like the whole thesis comes together for the entire album. It's what the album, builds up to, is this song, Mortal Man. And it's got the least amount. I mean, it's a 12-minute song. Not everybody's down for 12 minutes and not everybody's down for like spoken word shit. But I feel like this is the meatiest song here. I really enjoyed this album. I will be listening to this album again. I mean, I've been listening. So like I listen to Good Kid, Mad City every once in a while. I'll listen to that album in full. And I've been listening to songs from Section 80 and Mr. Morale. Like just some songs that I've like really kind of like attached myself to and keep like replaying over and over. But I think this is an album that I just want to listen to in full, start to finish again. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Absolutely, 10 out of 10. Thank y'all for, pushing me to do all these Kendrick reactions. I'm really enjoying it. It just take a while to record and edit down. They're slow running, but I do enjoy them a lot. After this one, I'm going to edit this. I'll post it on Patreon first. So Patreon, hi, I'll see you first. And then it'll be on YouTube. After this, I'll be doing Damn, which is the one that won the Pulitzer. So I'm super duper excited about that. I know a couple songs off of it, but I haven't listened to it in full. And then I might, do the Good Kid, Mad City because I lost that footage. I might re-record that for y'all because I've seen some interest in that. So I'll probably do that. But the next artist that I'm going to be moving on to is Tyler, the Creator. That is the next artist that we're going to be jumping to after we finish with Kendrick. Because I have not heard a single thing by him. Like nothing. At least not that I know of. And that's why I'm moving to him as opposed to J. Cole. Because I have heard J. Cole songs. I've heard several J. Cole songs. I just don't think I've listened to his albums in full. So I think I'm more eager to check out Tyler, the Creator first. So that's what we're going to be doing next. So stay tuned for that. And I've got some other ideas. I'm nervous about speaking too soon on things. So if my idea pans through, I'll be making that announcement when the Damn album reaction comes out, when I do that. Because I'll have a better idea if I'm doing The Thing. So stay tuned for possibly The Thing. I'm not telling you what it is yet, so building anticipation. All right, well, that's it. It's almost midnight now, so I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take my makeup off and go to bed. But yeah, thank you all again for supporting me and encouraging me in doing all this. I really appreciate it all. I really appreciate all of you. And I will see y'all next time.